And we're going to put some numbers here up for you to view so you can see what we're looking at. And the proof is in the pudding, ladies and gentlemen. Wisconsin's Racine County GOP finds 23,000 voters with the same phone number. How's that happen? 4,000 voters registered on January 1st. Biden awarded the state by 20,000 votes. Right. Yeah. So voters registered on, how'd that work? Registered on January 1st. The election was in November. Huh. Something's not adding up here. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Wisconsin's Racine County GOP finds 23,000 voters with the same phone number and 4,000 voters registered on January 1st. 1918, by the way. Did I forget to mention that one? Yeah, right. Biden awarded the state again by 20,000 votes, 23,000 votes with the same phone number. You can guarantee they're all fraudulent and phony. All phony votes, which means he lost Wisconsin. Racine County, he lost that county in Wisconsin, guaranteed. And that's the largest county in Wisconsin. Just like we saw the numbers with Maricopa County. And we can go over that until we're blue in the face. We've all seen it. We've all seen the statistics. I don't think we have to go over and over and over again because we already know. Maricopa County was the largest county. It is the largest county in the state of Arizona. Arizona, an estimated 96,389 mail-in votes were ghost votes. I'll repeat that. Arizona had an estimated 96,389 mail-in votes that were ghost votes. 58%, or the equivalent is 393,017 of registered voters in one county were not real human beings. So we had 96,389 mail-in votes that were ghost votes, which means null and void. 393,017 registered votes in one county were not real human beings. Then we had 173,000 missing votes in Maricopa County alone. Just in one county, we had 173,000 missing votes. Maricopa County Recorder's Office actually deleted the entire 2020 general election results from their system the day before the audit. Imagine that, the coincidence, the irony, right? Read between the lines. 269,000 ballot images were now corrupt and unreadable, in addition to approximately 30,000 missing ballots. Unreal. So you add up all these numbers. So you basically got 100,000, you basically got 400,000, then you got 175,000. So what, 400, that's 500, 675, then 269, so 270, 875. We're looking at about 950,000 votes. 950,000. How many did Trump lose that election supposedly to Biden by? What was it? Within 11,000? Yeah, Trump won in a landslide. Read between the lines. Take a look at these numbers. We got them up there for you to check out. You can always hit rewind, go back and look at it a second time if you're downloading this episode again. You can do that at podbean.com or joshycox.com. You can also hear the show in the audio form at TuneIn, all Alexa-enabled devices, all Amazon Echo devices, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible.com. Also being heard on iHeartRadio, Player FM, Listen Notes, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, and Deezer. So you can check it out all across the world. And again, if you're in, especially here of late, fans in the United States, of course, Joshuaholics Worldwide, Australia, and Brazil lately, really topping the charts. And, I like Brazil because they have a lot in common with Americans and with how we do things right here. And that's one of the things I like about them most. Their president, that's a president that I would be comfortable in. That's a president that I would put full faith in. That's Jair Bolsonaro. That is Brazil's president. And gun control, or lack thereof, that was the premise of his campaign in 2018. And any president, any candidate that is going to run on the premise of we need to allow our citizens to arm themselves more, that has my vote. Because what is the American government trying to do right now? The globalists around the world are doing the same thing. They're trying to take your gun rights from you. We saw it in Australia. They forfeited their guns. And my heart goes out to them. I know a lot of people that say, well, look, they caused it themselves. Look what they did. No. They had to live peaceful lives. They had to live in a promised land for so long. And then they had tyranny hit. They had a couple of globalist, world leaders come in, probably rigged their elections, just like we are seeing all around the globe. And then just struck them to tyranny. Slavery, lockdowns, draconian measures. Vaccine passports, the vaccine narrative, curfews, lockstep, all by design, the Rockefeller design. Tony Morrison, the Prime Minister or President of Australia, here's to you, pal. I stand with the Aussies, and I have their back. And now it gets worse. From what I'm hearing, it's in Austria now, too. I was just reading here earlier. Today began the first day of the lockdown of the unvaccinated. Have you heard of this one? Excuse me, COVID, unfortunately. Thank you, Democrat. Yeah, I'm still drinking root beer, Biden. News out of Austria tells us today began a new measure, and it's the lockstep lockdown of the unvaccinated. So the vaccinated people, despite being super spreaders, which is a proven fact, they can be reinfected and they can also be transmitting the disease to other people, but it don't matter because they're vaccinated, right? They're doing as they're told. They're complying. So the vaccinated people, they can go to work, they can do whatever they want. They want to go grocery shopping, they can go grocery shopping. They want to go to the mall, they can go to the mall. They want to go check out a movie, they can go check out a movie. They want to go play a game of mini golf, they can go play a game of mini golf. I don't know if they do that in Austria this time of year or not. I've never been there, but maybe I can talk to Arnold Schwarzenegger and he can tell me. But maybe they need Schwarzenegger there to become Terminator and take out this fascist leadership. In the first day, this is a 10-day measure from what I'm told, and we know it's going to be a lot longer than that. That's just what they're telling you in the beginning to see how many people will comply after 10 days of lockdown. 15,000 checks by police, where they actually are going into public arenas, public areas, public forums, and they're checking for status. And you're going to be able to show the vaccine passport showing that you had your vaccination records. And if you do not, you're going to be fined. And the police are actually backing this measure up. 120 fines were levied on day one out of the 15,000 people that were checked. 120 fines were levied, and that was by the Interior Ministry of Austria. And that comes out to their fine is 1,450 euros. That's the equivalent of 1,640 United States dollars. So 120 people fined. Check 15,000 people. You're going to stay in your home, in your apartment at all times, unless you have a reasonable cause, which is undefined, and I'm sure that's only going to work to the favor, when it's advantageous to the government and not to the citizens, because your rights are being mined away, because this is a global Agenda 21. It was orchestrated inside the walls of the UN. The likes of Justin Trudeau up in, or really Justin Castro up in Canada. Barack Hussein Obama with the World Security Council. Morrison. Macron from France. Angela Merkel in Germany. And the list goes on. Boris Johnson, the EU. The Queen. The King. The Prince. The Princes. The Duchesses. The president, the vice president, illegitimate president, and illegitimate vice president here at the States, nonetheless. But that's their agenda, folks. And eventually they're going to do a worldwide lockdown if we don't stop it. Americans, you are the last stand. We are the last stand for all of humanity. We still have the right to bear arms. And so does Brazil. And that's exactly what Brazil's president, again, here, Bolsonaro said. He was an avid gun supporter. And again, the premise of his 2018 election was to allow more citizens to own guns. In fact, the BBC story that was printed yesterday told me His quote at the time was, upstanding citizens, the goal is for upstanding citizens to have peace inside their homes. And I agree with that. And I think that's one thing when you can offer your own course of security. I think that's when your family feels the most safe. I think that's when you and your family are less compromised. Because we're seeing lawlessness out all across the world. It's not just here in the USA. We saw it in Kenosha. We saw it in Louisville. We saw it in Philly. We saw it in Chicago, Detroit, Seattle, Portland, Houston, everywhere. It's everywhere. And lawlessness, that means the law is not going to be allowed to do anything because the Department of Justice, they're weaponizing everyone and everything around you. So you have no rights. Just like the FBI has been weaponized. The DOJ has been weaponized by this Biden-Harris administration. It's run by Barack Hussein Obama as the shadow president.